Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Imperial Arm. Today we're checking out Foundation, version 1.4 fall update. So Foundation is a gridless, sprawling medieval city simulation with heavy focus on organic development and monument creation. What does all of that mean? That means that we have nearly limitless options on how our town or medieval city will grow and develop. Definitely an interesting title. There'll be a link in the description if you want to get the game for yourself. As always, if you like the content, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Leave comments if there's anything you want to talk or discuss about, or tips or whatever the case is. Also, if you enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell notification so that you know when the latest content comes live. But let's get started. So, we're in the game. We picked the Valleys map, so we had a little river here so we can do some fishing. Because in my previous playthroughs, I've found that it's food's always going to be one constraint, or one of the major constraints. So fishing's a good way to alleviate a bit of that constraint. So when we initially start out the game, we get to pick a territory, right? So there, here. I have some plans for this area right here. This area is just not ideal to build on right this minute. So, we're going to choose this one right here. Alright, so it's going to give us our little tutorial quest. We'll go ahead and pause the game real quick. So it wants us to build a village center. So we're going to come up here to the upper right-hand corner. Click on the little hammer icon, public buildings. We'll click the village center, right? So we build the village center right there. Boom. Now we have all these people, right? Alright, so now they want us to, they tell us about the extraction zones, and then we can build a granary, wooden bridge, market, sawmill, all that good stuff up there in the middle of the left-hand side of the page there. So first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to come down to the bottom left. We're going to select our villagers, our villager list. We're going to make a couple builders, right? So we're going to do 2 builders for now. I think we'll be okay with 2 builders. But we need to get some things started. So we're going to need a lumber camp, right? Yeah, I'm thinking our lumber camp's going to go right in here. And we're going to need a gatherer's hut. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put the gatherer's hut right here. And we're also going to need stonecutter's camp. Put the stonecutter's camp right here. And we're going to need a granary. So granary is where we're going to store our foodstuffs. So there's 2 different warehouse types, or 2 different storage types. There's a granary, and then there's also the warehouse, which comes in later on and has to do with trade and stuff like that. So what we're going to do, without cutting out any more trees here, go ahead and plop our granary down there. So we got plenty of builders. We'll go ahead and unpause the game, and we will let our people get started. We'll bump the speed up to 3. So one interesting thing the game does is it allows you to people to immigrate into your city. So here in the upper left-hand corner, if we click on the village information window, see here it says immigration in 6 days, right? So people will pass by the village, and as they pass by, if they like the village or if the village is happy and content, then people will join your village, right? And then obviously you've got to provide food and housing, stuff like that for them. So that's one of the bit of resource management simulation things. Alright, so there's 2 different ways we can assign workers. We can do it with the villagers list, like we did there, or we can come in here to the very next icon, which is another hammer. It says workplace list. And now it shows us that we have 0 of 3 assigned to the forgers, so we'll assign 2 there, and then we have 0 of 3 assigned to the woodcutter, so we'll assign 2 there. Right? So the stonecutter's camp is complete as well. We will assign 1 stonecutter, right? And then that should take care of all of our population. No, we have 1 unemployed, which is okay. Nice. So now it's telling us that there's no extraction zone. So instead of them just going out and collecting resources like they normally would in most games like this, we have the wonderful opportunity to go in and paint zones. So we're going to come in here, we're going to come to the paintbrush, upper right hand corner, we're going to click extraction zone. And we're going to come over here, we're going to tell them, okay, we want everything in this area. We want everything in this area taken out, right? And they're going to come in here and they're going to continue to extract resources from this area as long as there are resources available. So it actually leaves us the opportunity, if we wanted to leave all of this wooded, we could leave it wooded. We won't, however, though, we're going to extract all those resources, but for the time being, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we are building our granary. 2 people passing by decided to join the village, which is good, because we're going to need people to work our granary, and we're going to need people to work a market stall shortly. When we scroll, we look at the models. So, models look great, buildings look great, animations look good too. We'll go in here, see if we can get in. Okay, we can't really see. She's in there swinging that pickaxe one-handed, just getting it. And I'm pretty sure the woodcutters do the same exact thing with the axe. They swing it one-handed. So, alright. Actually, we can go in down here and see. Yep, swing it one-handed, right? Lady's getting it over there. So, once our granary's built, then we'll go ahead and assign workers to it, and they'll do their thing. We'll talk more as we get along in the game. We'll talk more about some of the different currencies. We'll go over the rest of the UI. So right now, people are not happy. I wouldn't know why they're not happy, but it is what it is. We can actually click on the villager workforce and we can see why. So what does she like? She's liking food, she's liking housing, not water. Right? So I do know for a fact that they're going to ask us to build a well. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and build a well. I'm going to build this well. Maybe. Build a well back here. Give them something to do. And I guess we'll go ahead and build the market as well. Granary finished? No, we're almost there. We can actually assign one more stone gatherer now. Yep, there we go. Granary, we'll put 2 in the granary. That should leave us no pops. Yep. No pops left. Alright, so we're going to come in here. We're going to assign what resources are going to be held right now. All we can choose is berries. Boom. 4 people decided to join. That is very fortuitous because we're going to need a marketplace here tonight. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and preemptively build the market. Right? We're building the well, but for the market, we're going to have to come into monuments, come into the market, and then this is where things kind of get interesting in some of the monument buildings. You can kind of customize your monument buildings in any way, shape, or form you want with all sorts of different things. So, right, we can create a food stall, and we can add tents, we can add signs, we can add luxury or luxury goods stalls, signs, barrels, benches, fences, right, and more stuff unlocks as you play the game, right? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to come down here, we're going to go ahead and build this, right? We're going to face this out because our village is going to be, our initial housing is going to be over here, right? So we're going to come in here and tilt it this way. There. Now, we could just simply build that right there and be done, and that fulfills our quest, right? But there are a couple of different currencies-ish in the game. So there's money, right? And that's used to buy trade resources, buy territory, stuff like that. Then there's labor, kingdom, and clergy. And then inside of those, there's splendor for each one of those different currencies, right? And the splendor, as you gain splendor, you can unlock different things. So at 20 serfs and 2 splendor, we can unlock a fisherman's hut with the appropriate amount of labor. So, how do you get splendor? You come in here, put out a little gold sign, or little food sign, right? So that people know this is food. And it says, see there, it says plus 0.50 labor is going to be that axe or that hammer or whatever that is. I think it's an axe. Right. So now we have half a point of splendor right there. But that's not enough to really do anything. So then come in here. Going to add some barrels. So now we'll have a full point of splendor once this is built. We'll add maybe a little bench right here for if people want to come by and just chit-chat and chew the fat at the market. Then we're going to put in some fences. Alright, we're going to say there. And if we had the necessary cloth to build the tents, we'd build the tents, but we're going to end up doing that later. So right now, based on what we've done with our market, we're going to generate 2 labor splendor once this is built. So let's go ahead and start construction. I'm going to bring over their wood. Alright, we got a lot of people standing around doing nothing. I mean, we got 4. So we're going to increase our forager and our woodcutter, so that'll leave us 2 guys left. We're going to put 1 in the market stall. Alright, so we're going to come into the market stall. We're going to tell it we want it to sell berries, right? And then, this is the only place... Oh, there we go. You can do it one of 2 ways. Again, you can do it here, or you can go down to the villagers list and tell them that you want them to be a marketeer or a tender. Alright. So we're done now. The kingdom has recognized our efforts, right? So now we're going to get 4 kingdom and 4 labor points as a result of that. Boom. Right? Alright. So now our villagers are going to start lacking housing. And we can also unlock the labor warehouse, or the warehouse. So we can come in here, and it wants us to do the warehouse. So we need 10 serfs to do that. So we need to create housing for our people. Right? Alright, foresters camps available, reforestation area, so we can grow back trees when we have limited resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into the zoning area again. We're going to come in here to residential. And then we are going to do the same thing we did with the resource extraction. We are going to paint this area. Say, hey, you can build houses here. Right? Now, initially, this is not going to be enough area for housing. We're going to get a quest where it's going to give us the opportunity to buy another section of land, and we will use that section of land once we start clearing out some of the trees. We'll use that section of land to kind of expand our housing and different things. So, alright, let's go to our village list. So now we have 15 serfs. So now we can actually go in here into the labor section. We can unlock that warehouse, right? Now we just got to find a place for said warehouse. Here to the warehouse. We're just going to kind of butt it up against the, or situated against the granary right here, just because our space is limited for right now. So, that'll work right there. I'm not going to worry about the forester's camp right now because we're going to have plenty of trees and whatnot to take out. So one thing you want to be careful with, guys, if you are playing the game for yourself, is you don't want to overlap your residential zone and your extraction zone if all these resources are still here. Because if we were to do that, the villagers are going to build houses, you're going to lose all these trees, right? And then you could end up with a negative balance on your resources. You need wood, you can't get wood because you demolished it all. So we're going to be in a precarious situation right now where people are kind of balanced in between. They have stuff and they don't have stuff, right? They lack the necessary things to be happy. But overall, this early stage of the game, it's not going to affect us that much. It's wanting us to raise our villagers to commoners, and we do that by unlocking trade routes. So we'll let this thing go. We're going to need a sawmill. So we're going to have to come in here, we're going to figure out exactly where we're going to tuck this sawmill in. I think this is probably a good place to tuck the sawmill in. Maybe. No. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a jumbled mess right now, but we'll put it in right there. So we'll let them do their thing with the sawmill. Right. Let's see how many villagers we got. So we got 3 left. We'll probably put, I think you can put 2 in the sawmill if I remember correctly, and then we'll put 1 in the warehouse, so that'll allow, we want more people. Okay, we just got 2 more villagers, so we'll put 3 in the warehouse once we actually get to that point when the warehouse is built, so that we always have one who's doing trading for us if we decide we're going to do any trading. And we will be doing some trading, so that's how we're going to make money. Hurry up and get that sawmill built. I need it. So once they clear out some more trees, we're going to go ahead and paint this area out as our residential so that we can hopefully squeeze some more houses in there. Okay, you can also add assign villagers to work centers right there. So we'll put 2 in there for now. That'll be more than enough because we're going to still need wooden logs to build things for the time being. Alright. Yes, game. I know that I have villagers who need housing. I can't do anything about that right this moment. What I can do, though, sometimes you can cheat the system. You can, just by painting out a little bit of squares, that will have enough space for them to throw in a house somewhere. Alright, see, so right there, that's what that did for us. It might have taken out a tree, but it's okay. Alright, so we are building... We're building those saw planks right now, which is what we need to finish up our warehouse. I think once we hit 22 villagers, we're probably going to turn off immigration for a bit, and that's the beauty of the game also, is you can turn off immigration anytime you want. So, see, nobody decided to join, right? So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But if we wanted to, so say that we can't get to a fishing hut to help us out with our food situation, we can turn off immigration until we level things out, and then we can move on and do what we need to do. So, alright. So we're going to allow planks, we're going to allow wood, stone, and tools. Alright, we're going to assign us 2 transporters there. I think that should leave us 1. Yeah, 1 unemployed person right now. And we can just get to 2 serfs. We can get a fisherman's hut and alleviate some problems that we'll be developing shortly. Overall, very enjoyable game, guys. It's come a long way since it initially launched. Again, it will be available on Steam if you guys want to check the game out for yourself. There'll be a link in the description. I definitely have enjoyed playing the game. I've got 30, 40 hours into the game. I play it on and off. Sometimes I'll just sit down and I'll just play for 2 or 3 hours straight and just not even realize what I've been doing. And I'll just have this massive little bustling hamlet going on. So it's definitely a game you guys should check out if you're into city builders and you like the organic offering that it's trying to give us. So it definitely works, though. It really does work. I've not had any village that's been remotely the same. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to unlock some trade, right? So now we have 29 planks, so we should have more than enough. Alright, so we're going to click up here, the little card icon for trade. We're going to look at our neighboring cities, right? Northbury. To unlock the trade route, we need 20 planks. So we'll go ahead and do that. So now they are buying food. They're buying polished stones, planks, and wine for 120. But they are selling tools at an exorbitant amount, which we unfortunately are going to have to do. So we're going to try to set up a trade thing here. So we'll come in here. We're going to find our appropriate thing. Tools. We'll do 10. I'm going to buy until inventory reaches this amount, right? We're always going to have 10 tools on hand. But then in the reverse, we could say, for planks is a prime example. So we can say anything above 50. So we'll go ahead and click that number out, right? Sell all above 50. So once we get over 50 planks, we'll start selling away all the excess, which will give us a bit of money for the time being. We have one new person join the village. Go ahead and give us a third carpenter for the time being. Right, and it is nice. Another nice feature about the game is I don't have to build paths. Right, they kind of walk their own paths out as they're going. So. Right, so we see this is the most heavily traveled areas to and from these locations. We're good to go. Right, so, back in here, let's check out what we got going on. Pushed off all the way over. See, just that little bit of pushing right there with the painting tool enabled us to build 2 more houses. So, alright, 2 more people joined. Alright, so we should be up to, I think that'll bring us up to 21, and at that point we're going to go ahead and turn off immigration for a bit so that we can kind of level things out and start building resources, right? Because it should be about the point where the king or somebody gives us a quest to unlock an extra territory. So, alright. So the villagers are happy for right now. Our personnel are coming in, and we can actually see them if we... Okay, here they are right here. Here's our 2 newest villagers. Nope, that's a trader. Oh, here they are. There's our 2 newest villagers walking their happy butts on over to the village. Alright. Now we can't use them until they actually get to the village itself, till they hit the village center. Alright, so we're getting told that there's no resources to extract. There's a tree right there, my man. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. Oh, alright. So it happened a little quicker than I thought it was going to. We'll get back to the painting the extraction zone here in a minute. Alright, so this guy showed up. Alright. They want fish. We don't have fish right now, and if we take this quest and we fail, it would not be a good thing. So we're going to keep it all for the time being, right? So from time to time, you'll have an envoy show up on a horse. He'll stand in the village center for a determined amount of time, and then if you don't respond to him or don't speak to him, then you just lose out whatever quest he's asking for. So we're going to paint this zone out to be extracted now, as well as this area right here. So I'm going to build some fishing docks down there. So we now have enough serfs. We now have enough people, right? So we're going to take off immigration for the time being. See if we can sort out our housing issue. There we go. Now we can go in here into the labor panel. Now we have the 2 splendor. We now have 20 serfs. the fisherman's hut, right, which is going to alleviate some of our food issues and allow us to sell something else to generate more money. So we're going to come in here, turn the way we need it to. Because space is limited, we're going to have to crunch this in as best we can. So we're going to build 2 of these initially. Maybe 3. Maybe probably 3. There we go. Alright. I believe we have 3 unemployed people. Yep. Why are you sad? Why are you sad, Henry? You lack housing and you lack faith. Man, I don't have a spot for faith right now, buddy. So we'll work on it though. We'll get you there. Alright. So what we'll do when the time comes, once we get our fisherman's huts built and we start building a surplus of fish, we'll probably put another market right here. We may attach it to this one, or we may just build an independent market. Or if we attach to this one, we don't incur as much taxation costs or penalty costs. We kind of start building this a smaller market right here. Eventually, we'll be doing some goods. We'll be doing some luxury goods as well. So, alright. I don't know why the game seemed incredibly slow. It's because we had to slow it down because of that envoy. Later on, we'll be able to build a wooden keep where we supply soldiers for different things the kingdom needs, and they give us some pretty crazy rewards for just sending off 5 soldiers to help with whatever mission the kingdom is on. We don't risk losing them, as far as I know. I haven't lost any so far, but you'll get like 40 wine and 200 gold, which is phenomenal. You can turn around and sell the wine, or you can use the wine to, boost your people's happiness, if you start selling it in the market, stuff like that. So, alright. Fishing huts are coming up nicely. You can unpaint zones by left mouse clicking them, or right mouse clicking, sorry. You erase the zone, right? So if you don't like all that extra nonsense. Just going to trim that down so they can still, so we're going to do this. There we go. Alright. We'll just do some maintenance, clean some things up a little bit, come in here, okay, cool. Because that will annoy somebody. It personally doesn't annoy me, but it is what it is. Alright, there we go. Alright, as soon as the fisher huts get built, we'll be good to go. Is that Rose? Rose is where our first fisher. Go out and collect us fish, Rose. And then we'll go into the granary, and we'll say we want fish to be stored as well. Alright. We will wait to sell the fish initially, because we may get another quest where they're asking for 30 fish to be given, and we can get money or resources or whatever out of it. So, here's what I'm thinking. We're at 500. We may go ahead and buy a territory, and then, as soon as we pop back up to 500, we're going to buy this territory right here. This will give us some area to throw down some housing and different stuff. So, and then we'll get another free territory. We'll unlock another one. So that'll give us a little more space to start spreading our village out. So, one more. Oh, come on. Must have hit us with tax or maintenance or something right there before we got to where we needed to be. So, you can kind of play the system too. There we go. Alright, so there we go. So we bought that territory now. So it's going to generate us tax, and it gives us space to actually branch out and do some more things. So now what we can do, we can come in here. We can say, well, extraction. All of this. These are happy folk with your axes to go murder this entire swath of trees, right? And then this up a bit. There we go. I don't want them focusing on this area no more now that we have that land unlocked, so we're going to unpaint that area. I still want them to do this because I'm going to build my fisher huts right here. Alright, got another fisher hut built. There we go. Sophie. I guess we got an all-female fishing team so far. Alright, one other thing we can do is we can come in here, and I already know it's going to happen, so we're going to have to do it anyway. We're going to come in here and we're going to paint this whole area. Right. Except for, leave that little corner right there undone. So that's where we're going to build our church when it comes time to build our church, so we can meet our religious needs of our people. Right. They'll need water, so we're going to come in and build a well. We'll see where they're building their houses at initially. Well, let's let them get this. I think the well will probably go in right there, but let's see what they do. And this should make our people even more happy, or bring their happiness up, should I say. More happy. I was going to say more happier, but whatever. Anyway. This will bring their happiness up because we got to provide them with that water. And we'll actually probably drop in that fish market stall down here. So it's a little closer so that they're not trucking back and forth. So. We'll go ahead and drop it in right there. It's a pretty good assumption that that's gonna be a good spot for it. Alright, so there we go. So they're gonna build up some fish. We're gonna be clearing out resources here. Right. And at this point, we have reached the end of this episode, guys. So this is gonna be kind of a impression mini let's play through, unless it gains a whole lot of popularity and everybody really loves the series, and then we'll continue playing it by all means. I definitely enjoyed the game again. I'm Imperial Arm, this is Foundation. There'll be a link in the description if you would like to get the game for yourself. Also a link in the description to my Discord and my Twitter. I'm active on both. Join the Discord, come over and play some games. Otherwise, guys, as always, until next time, have fun.